Sky Tavern on the Mount Rose Highway represents a truly unique part in the history of skiing in the Sierras. When it opened for business in 1945, Sky Tavern was praised by the Nevada State Journal as a second Sun Valley, Idaho, with an elaborate T-bar lift and 3 rope tows. The downhill runs were 1 to 3 miles long and lift tickets were $2.50. Among the first destination ski resorts in the West, Sky Tavern had hotel rooms, restaurants, a bar, and an added Nevada attraction, a casino operated by Bill Harrah. Sky Tavern was the creation of Reno residents Keston and Carlisle Ramsey, who, with partner George Ted of San Francisco, bought 800 acres known as the Mount Rose Bowl. Kes Ramsey, a local contractor, took the rope tow and warming hut that were installed by Wayne Polson and developed the property into a beautiful resort with a 4-story lodge that resembled a Western-style family home. When the Ramseys opened for business in 1945, the timing was perfect. The only other Tahoe area ski resort with lodging was Sugar Bowl, which had been built in 1938 on Donner Pass, but it had closed during the war years, leaving Sky Tavern with a monopoly on skiing in the region. Among the rich and famous to visit Sky Tavern in the early years were Gary Cooper, Levi Strauss, Ingrid Bergman, Norma Shearer, Rita Hayworth, and Lowell Thomas, who made one of his famous radio broadcasts from Sky Tavern. The comforts now enjoyed at local ski areas were yet to be developed, and the first rope tows were a lesson in determination as they pulled you to the top of the mountain. Technique and form in alpine skiing had not yet been widely accepted, and skiers just pointed their boards downhill and held on for the ride. Hal Cotting came from Sun Valley in 1946 and formed the ski school at Sky Tavern. He brought skills he learned from Austrian and French masters to the ski school, and skiing progressed from straight running to snowplow to parallel turns. The Ramseys watched with interest as their sons Bob and Alan became avid skiers. In 1948, local nursery school teacher Marce Hertz approached the Ramseys with the idea of forming a junior ski program. She noted a great deal of interest in skiing among her young students and even began their skiing experience at Washoe Golf Course when there was snow on the ground. Mr. Ramsey offered reduced lift rates, and Mr. Cotting gave free instruction. The following year, the program grew to 150 skiers. Ski swaps and other fundraising events were held to keep the cost to the individual at a minimum. Mrs. Hertz encouraged financial contributions from local service clubs, and these monies helped sustain the program in its early stages. The Reno Arch Lions, South Reno Lions, Rotary, Optimist, and the Elks Clubs were annual contributors. In 1954, the program obtained the services of Gordy Wren, an expert skier with a keen interest in youth development. He influenced the instructional phase of the program and continued the work of Hal Cotting in developing a corps of well-trained instructors. This was a period of time when Reno was awakening to its economic potential as a ski capital in the far west. When Gordy left in 1958, an average attendance of 550 had been reached. Norm Olson became the director in 1959 and remained in that capacity through the 1970-71 season. He continued to improve the program systems and developed an instructor's handbook adapted to the needs of the program. At this time, the junior ski program had been operating at both Sky Tavern and Reno Ski Bowl, and it became apparent that it needed one single area. A group of investors purchased Sky Tavern plus the acreage of the current Mount Rose Ski Resort. They developed Mount Rose and in 1965 leased Sky Tavern to the city of Reno for the exclusive use of the Reno Junior Ski Program. By 1966, 2,000 children were being taught each weekend for the price of $1.75 per student. Approximately 80 men and women worked as volunteer instructors, along with others as support staff. In 1968, the city of Reno and Washoe County purchased the 143-acre Sky Tavern area. Through the generosity of a grant from the Fleischman Foundation, all new lifts were installed, hills were groomed, and Mr. Ramsey remodeled the hotel-type lodge to provide large lunch areas. These improvements enabled the program to accommodate more participants. Today, the lodge has 2 lunchrooms, a concession snack bar, office space, ski patrol area, adaptive ski room, and upstairs apartment. Leon Stanley took over as program director in 1971 and was responsible for coordinating over 900 volunteer program workers. He had served as the assistant directors and other volunteer positions for 17 years and was thoroughly familiar with the inner workings of the program. He structured the program as it is run today, with various designations for the volunteers. He encouraged good, safe fun through proper instruction. With the assistance of Jim Hubbard and Frank Cathcart, a solid ski patrol was developed which boasted the highest number of paramedics and EMTs in the area. It was also during this time that competent teenagers could train to become junior instructors and junior ski patrol members. In 1985, Tom Cates began his period as program director. His experience as the outdoor education coordinator for the Washoe County School District and his 14 years as a volunteer made him a perfect candidate to take over as Leon's successor. Realizing the continual evolution of ski instruction, he worked with the training staff to update the manual with the assistance of Rusty Crook. By this time, program attendance had reached approximately 3,000. In 1991, a significant change occurred in the program administration. Faced with serious budget cutbacks and increasing costs to run the junior ski program, the City of Reno considered selling the Sky Tavern property. Concerned citizens attended city council meetings and worked out a proposal to save the junior ski program. The City of Reno agreed to retain ownership of Sky Tavern and lease it to a volunteer group governed by the Board of Directors who would take care of the program administration. An agreement was signed outlining the responsibilities of each group, and the Sky Tavern Junior Ski Program Incorporated, a nonprofit organization, was born. The group's first president, Dave Iozzi, had great plans for the organization and worked closely with the city to make a smooth transition. He's credited with setting up the office systems that are still used and implemented ways to ensure the financial stability of the organization. George Linsmith was hired by the Board of Directors and still serves as the current program director. He works closely with the daily directors, Tony Warburton and Jim Hubbard, to ensure the program runs smoothly each Saturday and Sunday, and together they suggest methods of improvement to the Board of Directors. One of the most significant achievements of the organization was the installation of a triple chair in 1993. The new lift helped reduce congestion on the main hill by increasing lift capacity and opened up additional terrain where the surface lift was removed. It also opened the hill to the adaptive skiers, those with disabilities who require special equipment that cannot be used with a surface lift. The lift installation was funded by a grant from the L. Cord Foundation, a loan from the City of Reno, and labor and materials donated from many local businesses. Tower and Share sponsorships continue to provide funding for repayment of the loan to the City of Reno. Once the chairlift was installed, the adaptive program could begin training in earnest. With the encouragement and guidance of Bob Guerrero, training began in 1994 to build up a group of specially trained volunteers to teach children with various disabilities. Last year, the Sky Tavern Children's Adaptive Program taught children with Down syndrome, cerebral palsy, spina bifida, hearing and vision impairments, and other physical or mental conditions that previously kept them from participating in this activity. These lessons at no additional cost, even though an adaptive student may require 2 to 3 volunteers per lesson and specialized equipment. One of the most rewarding sights at Sky Tavern is an empty wheelchair, because we know that somewhere on the mountain, this child is experiencing the thrill of downhill skiing. Much of the equipment used until now has been modified adult equipment or borrowed children's equipment, and the current goal of the adaptive program is to purchase adaptive equipment designed for children. Sky Tavern once hosted many championship jumping events and ski races, and the junior ski program has produced world-class skiers throughout the years. A racing program was reintroduced at Sky Tavern last year to offer a challenge to students in levels 8 and 9 who want to pursue racing in high school and beyond. Coaches work with these students in skill development, racing strategy, along with video analysis for error correction. High school ski teams throughout the area are largely comprised of racers who learn to ski through the junior ski program, and the caliber of racers will increase with the additional training of the Sky Tavern race program. The instruction at Sky Tavern took a tremendous step forward in 1994 when the ski school aligned its teaching with PSIA, or Professional Ski Instructors of America. The ski school is now trained by certified PSIA instructors who serve as volunteers and continue their PSIA education each year to ensure that teaching continues to follow current guidelines and methods. PSIA classes are held on evenings each week by ski school director Randy Bell to help instructors prepare for the exams. Sky Tavern is now the largest volunteer PSIA-affiliated ski school in the country, serving over 2,500 children each weekend. Injuries will occur on the slopes, and if you're injured at Sky Tavern, you're treated by extremely competent individuals. The Sky Tavern Ski Patrol, under the direction of Jerry Carr and Scott Coletti, is staffed by medical doctors, emergency room nurses, a Care Flight helicopter paramedic, Washoe County Hasty team members, firemen, and several emergency medical technicians. These volunteers undergo rigorous training to maintain their skiing and first aid proficiency, and their annual training typically exceeds the refresher requirements of the National Ski Patrol. In addition to their first aid duties, they give daily safety talks to the bus students upon arrival, enforce safety policies on the hill, and conduct the final sweep at the end of the day. Although the goal of the Sky Tavern Junior Ski Program has always been to provide an affordable ski opportunity for the youth in our community, there are still some children whose families cannot afford the program registration fee. Financial assistance and student sponsorships are available to these students through grants, as well as through individual and business donations. Participation in the Sky Tavern Junior Ski Program provides all children with a setting that helps remove barriers of race, ethnicity, and economic status. It also provides a healthy alternative activity on the weekend, when some children are left at home in a neighborhood where negative influences are prevalent. Families are encouraged to participate together, and we are now enrolling third and fourth generation participants. To the thousands of volunteers who have dedicated their time over the past 50 years, thank you for your hard work, which is a vital part of the program's success. To those of you who continue to support the program financially, thank you for realizing the value in encouraging our local children to ski and carry on this tradition. To those of you who aren't yet involved, we invite you to join us and help plan for the next 50 years. Finally, to Mr. and Mrs. Keston Ramsey, thank you for your vision so long ago that gave our children a safe place to learn, to grow, to achieve, and to excel. Sky Tavern will forever hold a wonderful memory for us all.
It's time to teach these kids a lesson.